Come on, that was a good one.
It
Got
was, but you caught me. I just started recording. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. We're gonna roll with
it.
it. So
That's
anyway, like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted with a "that's what she said" joke. So I'm at the store tonight with my two kids. Usually I don't take them shopping, but we're leaving now. We're going out of town this weekend, so I needed to get it done tonight. So my youngest is playing at Playland, which is you know if anybody's not familiar with Playland, they have the local Fred Meyer around here has a place where you can drop off your kids and they'll watch them for an hour while you go shopping, so that way you can get your shit done fast. So my youngest is playing at Playland and my oldest is shopping with me, and so my youngest said, "Hey, don't forget to get me a cookie because you know the baker gives away free cookies." So
yeah.
we go to get some cookies, and my
And the
daughter
kids know
gets
which stores give you free cookies too.
yeah,
So
they all know. But Fred Meyer, local Fred Meyer around here, Kroger to anybody listening on the East Coast, they give out the free cookies and the Playland, so you know, big plus there. So my daughter goes and she gets a cookie for her and her sister, and so we got a couple last things we got to pick up. So we go to get them. My daughter eats the cookie and she's like, "Oh, this cookie's so good." I'm like, "All right, well, hang on to your sister's cookie and don't eat it." She's like, "It's so good." I'm like, "Do not eat your sister's cookie." She's like, "All right, I won't eat my sister's cookie." So we grab a few more things. We get in the checkout aisle. I look at her. I look down at her hand. She's got the cookie and it's half gone. I look at her and said, "Did you eat your sister's cookie?" Oh,
no.
yes. I told you not to eat your sister's cookie. She says, "I know, but I couldn't help myself. It was so good. I just had to eat it." I'm like, "Well, what about your sister?" She goes, "Who cares? We'll just go get her another one." I'm like, "We can't get her another one. You've already gotten the maximum amount of cookies. We can't go back and ask for more cookies because you decide to eat them all." Well, why not? Because that's rude and we're not going to do it. So
Yeah.
anyway, needless to say, she has a little meltdown in the middle of the freaking checkout lane. And I'm sitting here, and the checkout clerk is super nice, and he's trying to help, and he's trying to be nice to her. She's just crying and sobbing and stomping her foot. And I'm ready to just Homer Simpson her ass. I'm just like, ah, the joys of parenting. It was great.
Yes.
But I will
Fun.
say, the bright spot was so I told my daughters tonight because we had to record the show tonight. My wife was out doing something, so it's just the three of us. That if they were really good tonight and they listened and they helped me out so I could get get everything done, that I would let them both have an ice cream sandwich after dinner. So
Mm.
I told my oldest, who decided to eat my youngest cookie, that she was gonna have to tell her sister that she ate her cookie, and so we go pick up her youngest. We go pick up her sister from Playland, and she looks at her and said, do you have something to tell your sister?" And she goes, "Charlie, I'm sorry. I ate your cookie." And Charlie goes, the look on Charlie's face was like, What? You ate my cookie?" Because as soon as I get her, the first thing out of her mouth is, "Daddy, did you get me my cookie?" And I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
your sister has something to tell you about that." And so Charlie looks devastated, right? And so I
Yeah.
look at her and I said, "Don't worry, Charlie. Because your sister ate your cookie, you get to eat her ice cream sandwich tonight. I'm telling you,
Which is like a million times better than
it's
a
way
cookie.
better, right?" And the look on my daughter's face, my oldest, look on Addison's face was sheer like terror, like, "Oh my god!" Like she really realized that she messed up, and she was gonna have to give her ice cream sandwich away. But the best part was Charlie. She goes from being devastated that her sister ate her cookie to this look of sheer like.
Yeah.
She turns
Yeah.
to her sister and goes, "I'm getting your ice cream sandwich." And I was like, at that point, I'm like, maybe I made the wrong decision, telling her she could have it.
Oh, and then she just double fist them.
Oh yeah, she
Like,
was eating. Yeah, dude, like it was glorious. But anyway, any of you who are parents, you understand these.
yes.
My daughters are 7 and almost 4, so this is just the last couple of days have been exhausting. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
go into my egg squishing, throwing at the window incident that happened yesterday.
Yes. Which is hilarious in itself. But
If any of
I
you
think
would
you've
like
been
to know that story offline, just hit me up on Twitter or Facebook or text me.
yes. I think we've all had our moments where discipline might seem a little disproportionate, and but you gotta do what you gotta do at the time. So
Well,
you know,
it wasn't even necessarily discipline. It was just me just dad raging because
yeah.
my kids had driven me to that bitter point. Oh well, which is partly why, if you guys do not have, well, if anybody's used to our show dropping late Thursday night, I've noticed that this episode is not. It's Friday right now, and it's clearly not up
Mhm.
because we're recording it. Partly
Yes.
due to Ryan's computer having issues, and the other part due to the fact that my kids were acting insane yesterday, and I was in no shape to record a show.
Yeah.
Hence,
Brian and I had to have a little talk
yes,
last night on FaceTime, and it would have been a pure rage show of
yeah.
him being pissed off. But even at the news articles, I think he just would have been so pissed off about him. So
Well, and last week we did the X-Men Apocalypse review, and I think I just
yeah,
yelled and dropped a lot of f-bombs. So I don't want to be the guy who's just constantly screaming all the time. I don't want to turn
yeah.
this into the Geek Dad Rage Report. I want this to be a fun, uplifting show. So last night was not a good show. Would have not been a good show due to,
Mm,
well,
the
your
all the
technical difficulties
circumstance.
and my rage, just pure rage issues. But like we said earlier, if any of you have children, you know exactly what we're talking about. You love them to death, but they can drive you into pure moments of insanity.
Yep, at least daily.
Yeah, at least 5 times a day. But anyway, but hey, that's not today. Today we are going to record a show, and we are. I guess we're recording, so I guess no, we're
Yeah.
not going to record. We are today. We're here to bring you guys some happiness,
Yes.
and mostly
We're
just unwind
mostly,
in front
yeah.
of a camera
We're here to bring you something.
for
I
you
hope it's.
guys. Yeah, you know what? Freddy Krueger's there to bring people something. It's not really anything good.
Hmm. Very much so.
So you should not always, saying that you're going to bring people something is not necessarily a good thing.
This is going to be a terrible segue into the thing that we want to talk about at the beginning.
Yeah, God, told you guys. You know what? It's Friday. This is why we record Thursday, because usually by Friday we are completely wore out from the week of
Hmm.
work and children dealing with
Yes.
it.
Thursday is
It's
usually
not
that
even
day that
proper
like we
English.
get everything all planned ahead, and
Yeah.
you know,
All right. You know what?
not this week. This you
Should I
know
even?
we're
You know
we're
what?
in real
I'm not even
week.
gonna. We're not even gonna play music today. I'm not even gonna start the intro song. I think we're just
Yeah.
gonna dive right into it. Welcome
Yes.
everybody to another episode of the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, especially creating. I can't speak
Creating.
tonight. What the
We're always
shit?
creating.
Especially created and bringing you guys all the weekly news you need to know, and usually, hopefully, possibly, maybe even likely entertaining you guys just a little bit,
Yes.
maybe a smidge.
So
Um,
you tell your friends and
yeah,
tell
tell
them to
your
like us.
friends, tell somebody.
Yes.
I mean, we appreciate everybody who watches us, but you guys are so few and far between. You guys are just amazing, amazing few. We're like the 300.
Hmm.
We're a
Yes.
small band of amazing Spartan Greek ninjas who take on overwhelming odds of nothingness. Don't even know.
Yes. They do something.
Oh God, it's been one of those weeks, people. I apologize,
Yes.
and it hasn't just been that week because of kids. We wanted to. I don't know what episode we on. We on episode 58.
Yes. 58.
58. I didn't introduce the episode. On this 58th edition of our wonderful show, unfortunately, we have events that happen in our lives that we have to talk about. And, usually on this show, we like to keep things light and fun and bring you guys some comedy and make fun of ourselves and talk about our geek lives. But unfortunately, something happened this week that part of the reason why we seem kind of down is because this whole week's been kind of rough for a lot of us,
Hmm.
and hopefully you guys, we do have some fun stuff planned for the rest of the show. We did not put in the normal prep work that we usually do, partially because there was a lot going on this week. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking
No.
about the shooting that took place in Orlando over the weekend. Um, Obviously, by this point, everybody knows what they've been telling what happened. A gunman went in and shot over 100 people. 49 of them were reported dead, and the rest are, there could be some more
Interesting.
casualties over the next few days. But anyway, you
Yeah.
scratch it. It was awful, and it was terrible, and it's the worst mass shooting in the history of America, at least civilian mass shooting, and it affected pretty much, I think, all of us in some way, shape, or another. So, like I said, we don't usually like to talk too much politics, and we're not going to use this segment to really go into personal politics or talk, try and bring everybody down or have any
Yeah.
personal agendas. But You know what? We are
We don't want to
dads,
start the
and
show like on a downbeat, but I mean, it's something that we both felt like we need to talk about, just because uh, there's only so much you can say,
well, and to be
to your spouse and stuff like that.
well, and to be
So,
fairly honest, when something like this happens, it's really hard to really look at news and look at things that you enjoy and try and find like, oh, well, that whatever, that's no big deal. I'm going to focus
mhm,
on this stuff. So, needless to say, this week was a lot about debating with friends and family and people I've never met with about what we should do as America going forward
yeah,
and how do we
which
deal
is
with these tragedies and so a lot of our focus this week, even me and Ryan's talk back and forth, was about this because especially as dads, I mean, put aside Americans as dads, neither one of us want our children to grow up in a world where they have to worry about, some crazy person walking in with a gun and just shooting up the whole place. So,
mhm,
that was on our mind a lot this week. So we're not going to spend a ton of time talking about this, but we did want to talk about it because it was important to us and it was a big week for us. So, um, like I said, we do have some fun stuff planned for you guys, but this beginning segment is going to be a little heavier. But we promise not to try and shake our fists
yeah,
and wave personal agendas. We just want to talk about this. So if you guys want to listen, we'll probably talk about this for the next 10 minutes or so. If not, feel free to skip ahead. We will totally understand. There's been a lot of negative stuff
yeah,
out there this week, and I understand if it's just something that's too hard to deal with, you don't really want to deal with anymore. But me and Ryan definitely want to talk
yeah.
a little bit about it. So
We'll keep it in neutral.
yeah, we're not going to get too
So,
crazy. I think from my perspective, and Ryan, I'll give you a chance to kind of say what you want to say, but I think from my perspective, what I really want to say is that I think, you know, obviously this is horrific, this is tragic, but the thing that I think hit me the hardest this time was that I think it's time for this to stop. And
mhm,
I think that we have done a terrible job of doing anything to try and prevent this going forward. When Sandy Hook happened and the kids were killed, I think all of us were so stunned and it was so awful that we just believed that something was going to happen. That if we all banded together and said, this is awful, somebody needs to do something, that something would happen. And nothing happened. Nobody did anything, you know. And then you had the South Carolina shooting. And then you had the Colorado theater shooting. You know, the Colorado theater one, I remember this is the night before The Dark Knight Rises come out, and I remember going the next day at the next premiere the next day, and I literally was sitting in that theater not feeling safe, and I hated feeling like that.
mhm.
You know,
I remember that.
yeah, it was awful. I mean, like I said, the Sandy Hook, and then you had the racially motivated hate crime in South Carolina that was terrible. But once again, everyone said, "Oh, it's just one crazy person," and we all debated and said we should do this, we shouldn't do this, and ultimately we hoped that things would get done, and nothing got done. And now we're here again. People want to throw out words like terrorists and ISIS and all this stuff, but really, this was an American citizen who, because of his own feelings, decided to commit a hate crime against a group of people that he, rejected for whatever reason, and went in and shot over 100 people. And the thing that struck me about this one, it's not that it was any worse. I mean, yes, there was definitely the body count was higher. It's the highest mass shooting we've ever had. But what made me really feel for this one is like, you know what? We all grieved. We were all mad. We all shared memes and said our whatever on Facebook, but at the end of the day, nobody did anything. And we just kept saying, well, you know what? We keep arguing in a circle, so nothing can be done, so whatever. Maybe it won't happen again. And it just keeps happening. And this last one, it's just a reminder that, you know what? It's not going to stop happening. We have to have these conversations. We have to talk about things that are uncomfortable. And more than that, we have to get off our asses and actually do something about it. And I think we're seeing that a little bit with Congress. I know the Senate, they were having their debates yesterday, and then Democrats did a filibuster, and for 15 hours straight, they
Yeah,
talked about this to the point where they have a bill going through. We're going to vote on they're going to vote on some gun laws. Do
yeah.
I
They're
expect these to
gonna
get passed
on Monday.
on Monday? Do I expect these to get passed? Probably not. Because our Congress is so against, people are so entrenched with their love of guns and everything else and I don't want to say
All right.
I don't like guns because I do like guns. Guns are fun. They're fun to shoot. But
I own guns.
yeah, so do I. I I don't want people to come in and take our guns. And guess what? They're not going to ever come in and take our guns, people. But saying that, but allowing anybody to buy a gun, to we have guns. I mean, it is harder for me to get 2 boxes of Sudafed in this country than it is for me to go get an assault rifle with extended magazines and as many bullets as I want. You know, we in this country, regardless of how you feel about guns, we have a gun problem in this country. We also have a people problem. That's true, but you can't. But what we like to do, I think, as a country, is we like to say, well, it's the people, it's the guns, it's the system, and then argue in a big circle and then not do anything about it. I don't think we can any longer sit back and not do anything about this.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, I've been trying to figure out, something. It's and as I've tried engaging with people, and I mean, you get the broad spectrum. I mean, people that obviously have my kind of viewpoint where, I think we should. I grew up in a family that's been hunting my whole life, and my dad tells stories of how they would never have had meat, because they were so poor,
Yeah.
and they only ate what they hunted. And I was lucky, but we weren't like that. But I still went hunting. I shot deer. I love venison, my favorite. Um, and but my grandpa, who's got a gun safe in his garage, he's got like 12 guns, hunting rifles, shotguns, a lot of family heirloom, rifles that have been passed down and stuff. And and he's been an advocate ever since I was a little kid that they need to have better gun control, registration, and background checks. And he's like, and that's just something that I've grown up with my whole life. I mean, we guns have always been a part of my family, but the discussion of there needs to be better control on them as well.
And I just
And
think that, like, I mean, you look at cars. Cars, everyone brings up, well, cars kill people. We don't ban cars. No, but we
mhm,
do regulate them, and we do force people to go get licenses and prove that they can drive a car, and we force the automotive industry to make them safer and make them better. In the 70s and early even before then, people were dying left and right from car accidents, and they found out that it's because the cars didn't crumple and the people took all the impact. And the government forced the automotive industry to change how they made cars so they became safer. Airplanes. We had, I remember 2001. Everybody remembers where they were on September 11th. Everybody
mhm,
remembers that, and nobody wants to deal with that again. And as a country, we banded together and we made it harder for that to ever happen again. I'm going on a plane here soon, and I'm gonna have to go through the X-ray, and they're gonna get to look at my naked awesomeness. And I'm okay with that because if that means that I can be safe when I get on a plane, that's fine. And we all willingly said we're gonna stand in line longer. We're willing to deal with this if it helps us make sure that that never happens again. Sudafed, meth people are out of control, and so they say, what, the easiest thing they can do to make meth is Sudafed. So they make sure that we can't all go out and buy 5,000 things of Sudafed. I mean,
yeah,
everything else that we do, we try and make things better. Does it always work? No, but we try. Except for when it comes to guns. Whenever anything
no,
happens, we immediately say nothing can be done. I don't know what's going on here, and we yell and scream, and we repost memes, and people say a lot of things that they don't really quite
yeah.
understand.
The
And
whole good guy
yeah,
with a gun thing, it just bugs the shit out of me because I've seen people who quote unquote think they're good guys with guns, and they are not the people that you want
well, and
having a
it's not
gun.
even about good guys and bad guys with guns. Most
No, it
people
should
aren't
be there's a
trained.
bad guy with a gun, you get a fucking police officer. You
Yeah,
don't need a vigilante.
yeah,
I've
I don't want.
I've seen Arrow. You know how many sideward casualties they have on Arrow
Yeah,
because he's a fucking vigilante?
yeah,
We don't
everybody
do that.
complains about Batman and Superman movie, how all these the body counts. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, imagine if everybody. There's a reason why the Wild West got rid of guns. Everybody had a gun, and they all decided this is a terrible idea. We need to
Hmm.
stop carrying guns. So you know, is guns the only problem? Of course not. Of course, people ultimately at the end of the day are the problem. But you know what? We can't regulate people 24/7. Everyone talks about, I hear mental health all the time. People say, well, we need more mental health. Okay, but no one's willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
They try and pass mental health bills and everyone checks no because you don't want your taxes to go up. You know, we have to do something. We can no longer sit here and just say, I'm not willing to pay more taxes, but damn it, the government better take care of all these crazies with guns. We
Hmm.
have to be willing to say, no, we're not going to do this anymore. It's just, I'm not willing to accept the collateral damage. And as far as like you were saying about good guys and bad guys with guns, even if you are a good guy with a gun and you have it and you fired 20,000 rounds out of it, does not mean that you are going to react the way that a police officer is in a high stress
Yeah.
situation. And you know what?
Well,
You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to put it on yourself at that moment to be able to draw your gun and shoot a bad person and hopefully not shoot an innocent bystander or yourself in the process.
one of the first things they teach you in concealed carry classes is that if a situation like that does happen, you need to get yourself out of the situation. They
Yeah.
don't teach you to stand your fucking ground and start shooting people and be a hero. No, the first thing they teach you in those classes so you can be, you can stuff your sidearm on yours, carry it around in public, that you need to get the fuck out of there and let someone who knows what they're really doing take over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not advocating for not being able to protect your family or your home. I mean, especially
Yeah,
home invasions is one of the most successful uses of people with weapons defending
yeah,
themselves. Because you
for
know
sure.
what? Hey, if you got a shotgun, you're sitting at the top of your stairs. It's really easy to defend yourself.
Yeah, the,
I,
the best deterrent in the world is the sound of a shotgun.
click, click, and they're gonna
That's,
run away.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
no one's advocating to get rid of guns. Here, I mean, you know what? I know a lot of people say Australia did it and it worked for them. I get what I'd like to see is society that we didn't need guns. Yes, I would. I think that would be
Mhm.
great. But I'm also not delusional. That is our Second Amendment rights is so embedded into our
Yeah.
psyche as Americans that that's never going to
Well,
happen. And okay.
it's people's interpretation of the Second
Well,
Amendment
yes,
rights.
our
I
our
mean, if you want,
present
if you're gonna go
interpretation.
for if you're gonna go for Second Amendment rights, you gotta go for the whole thing.
Well, you do know, Ryan,
Start your
that the Second
militia.
Amendment doesn't protect your right to buy bullets. So technically, they could just outlaw bullets.
Yeah.
But no, But ultimately, I just want to make this place safer. I just want to make sure that a guy who has decided that he's going to kill everybody can't go in and buy an AR-15 with as many magazines, extended magazines, and bullets that he can get his hands on can just buy the one thing and then leave and do it. And the guy who sells it to him can't just call a hotline number and say, there's a guy here doing a little profiling who looks a little crazy and he's buying every bullet I have in my building out.
Yes.
You know, it's we need to do something. We need
Well,
legislation.
and I mean, what people can do. I mean, like you said, there's the Senate is trying to get something on Monday.
Yeah.
We're apparently going to find there's four different things that are supposed to be coming up for a vote, and we'll see how much bipartisanship we can get out of this. What you people can do until then is to email your senator
Yep.
and just tell them what you honestly feel.
A
I've
simple a simple
I've done it
Google
100
search.
times. I
Yeah.
do it all the time.
I'm going to be writing my local representation a letter this weekend. A simple Google search will actually will lead you to the link you need to get to directly to your representative. And believe me, they read it. You know
They
what?
do. They have to.
We all can sit here and be cynical and say, well, Congress is corrupt and the Senate's corrupt and everybody's corrupt, and that's fine. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they want to keep their jobs. And if they get
Yeah.
enough of their voters, because we may not always be able to pick who's president, a lot of times the delegates gets to choose who gets to be president and everything else.
Yeah.
But you can choose who your senators are going to be and who your congressmen are going to be. You directly impact your local legislation. So don't think that if everybody from the state of Washington writes their congressman and says, we want you to do this, that they're not going to listen and go that way, regardless of who's
Hmm.
channeling money into their campaign funds. At the end of the day, they still have to get reelected. So your voice does matter. And ultimately we don't make our voices loud enough, which is why they don't matter, which is why there are a lot of good congressmen and women out there who don't do the right thing because they're afraid to. If we back them and they know that they have the support of their own people, trust me, they're gonna do what they feel is right.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to get rid of gun laws or guns, or you don't think gun control's the answer but mental health's the answer, then write your congressman and tell them that. But ultimately we all have to do something. We can no longer just sit on our hands and say, hopefully this gets fixed, because the next time this happens, it's on us.
Yeah.
America's
And
a
this one,
democracy.
this one is on us. I mean, you can't. It's been on us for the last 5 years, ever since Columbine.
Yeah.
It's been on us.
We've known
You
about
know.
this, and this is like that cancer that you don't treat early, and now all of a sudden you got this big fucking tumor that's threatening your life, and if you don't do something immediately, it's going to kill you. And that's, I
Hmm.
think, where we are at as a country, and I think it's time we all did something about it. So,
Yeah.
if you're like me and you would like to see assault rifles gone altogether, there's lots of petitions that are going around right now that you can add your name to. After a certain amount of votes, it goes directly to the Senate, and even the president sees some of these if you get enough votes. So feel free to put your name to those petitions. If you feel, like I said, if you feel the other way, this isn't only for people who feel that we need tighter gun laws. Whatever you feel is the answer. You know what? This great country of ours gives you the ability to have your voice heard. So use that and have your
Hmm.
voice heard, because I want to live in a country that the majority, everyone gets their vote, and what we all decide together is the best course of action is what we do. And right now, that's not what we're doing, and I think we need to start doing that. So,
Yeah.
write your congressman, sign the petitions that are going around that you feel you need to touch base on the things, and when those things come through, and if that means we pay a little bit more taxes on guns, or maybe that means
Suck it up.
suck it up and take it, because you know what, next time it could be you in that club, or it could be your children at that school. It's easy to say that's not me, but next time you look at your kids, the next gunman that could come into a school could be your kid's school, and it's gonna feel real bad when you're sleeping with your gun at night, knowing that, you know what, I could have had my child here, but instead I only have my gun because I was unwilling to do the hard things it took to make sure that they stayed safe. So just think about that. And also, too, one last thing on this I would like to say, with this Senate, this vote coming up on Monday, even if the bills don't pass, one thing that's really great about this is it is forcing every single congressperson to vote. So for the
Hmm.
first time ever, we are going to get an actual vote on gun control, and you're going to get to see who says yes and who says no. So
Yeah.
remember that when it comes time to
Well,
vote, which
who
is coming
said
up
yes and
soon.
no, and who abstains,
Yeah.
and who got sick that day.
Yeah. And so remember that when it comes time to vote, or write people, or let them know how you feel, remember the ones who voted against what you know. Now, obviously, we are a civil country, and I'm not condoning any kind of violence or any kind of threats or anything like that. But remember and use your God-given, well, your
Yeah.
American-born right to vote people out of office the next time the votes come around. So we need to take back our country, and I think this is something that we have to do to take that first step. So anyway,
Yes.
it's
So
it's
do
it's
it.
a
Do
it's a
something.
horrible it's another horrible American travesty, massacre, hate crime, and I'm personally sick of seeing them. So let's all try and do what we can, and try and make this place
Yeah.
a better place to live.
Stop being dicks to each other.
Yeah. And one last thing, please, if you have an opinion on Facebook or Twitter, make sure it's your own. Please, everyone, quit sharing these memes that you don't quite understand, that sound really cool, but are probably written by the NRA or by
Yeah.
super uber conservative, liberal hippies. And it seems like it's a cool thing. Have your own voice. If you want to tell me that I'm stupid, then just tell me that I'm stupid. Don't share some stupid meme of something that maybe George Washington said, or maybe he didn't, because you don't actually know. Because
Yeah.
I could create a meme of Abraham Lincoln and put guns deserve the same liberties and rights as every other American citizen, and I bet you I'd probably get 10,000 likes, because nobody takes the time to actually fact check or realize what it actually says. So if you have a
Yes.
voice, no matter if you have an opinion, no matter what it is, make it your opinion, and quit sharing and liking things that are so just idiotic that I just can't even handle anymore.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
stay
and
away
if
from
you
Facebook.
and if you'd like to do anything for the victims of Orlando, there is a GoFundMe page that is still active right now. it has millions of dollars right now, but there is 100 people whose lives will be affected by this who definitely could use support and from everyone. So feel free to donate if you'd like to do something. There it is on there. Just go to GoFundMe and type in, I believe it's the Pulse, or I'm sure it's pretty easy to find. If you Google search GoFundMe page for Orlando shooting victims, I'm sure you could find it. So, and we didn't even mention, I can't remember her name. I feel awful about it, but the pop star, our thoughts go out to the pop star's family too, that was also shot in Orlando by a gunman who no one will know why he did it, because he killed himself as soon as he shot her. So she was, I think, was 22. Just another stupid, senseless thing. So anyway, it's been a lot of heavy news in Florida this week, and so we promise not talking more about it. And we'll see if we can have some fun the last half of the show. But like I said, we wanted to talk about it, and I feel better. Sometimes it's good to get these things off your chest and say how you feel.
Yes, and if you want to talk to us regardless of how your viewpoint is, you want to yell at us for what we think, just go ahead and send us a message. We don't give a shit.
Definitely. So, hey, we're always open to debate people about our opinions.
Well, or not even debate. I mean, we
talk it through.
Listen. You want
I'm not a very good listener. I'm a good talker. Ryan's a good listener.
I am.
I'm a very good master debater, Ryan.
Yes, you are. I've seen it in action.
Yes, many times. But like Ryan said, if you'd like to talk to us, we are always available. You can find us at Twitter at BrianWest53, at Big Bruiser, on Facebook, and at Geek Dad Report, and of course on Facebook you can find us at Geek Dad Report. We don't have Instagram or Snapchat because we're over 30, so
yeah, we're too old.
Too old for that. But if we got Snapchat, we could like swap our faces.
Yeah, I haven't tried anything.
I feel like we just do weird things, like put our butts on our faces.
Yeah, I haven't even downloaded it. I'm sure my kids would have a lot of fun.
My wife has it. She likes to switch faces a lot. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, all right, moving on, everybody.
Yes.
Ninja news time. There's no great segue, so I'm just gonna say it's time for the news, everybody.
Woo-hoo.
We didn't have a lot this week. It was kind of a down week for news. There's a lot of little stuff, so we'll kind of dive into it and just, I don't know, see where it goes. First up, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 has finished wrapping.
Well, Chris Pratt has finished wrapping. There's still more.
They're still shooting? No, I think James Gunn just announced today they finished the wrap. It's done.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, they're done. Who cares? The movie's going to be awesome. It's coming out, next May?
Yeah, it's God,
that's
March
a lot
2017.
That's a lot of post work, but you figure they probably have a few weeks of reshoots and a lot of special effects to add.
Well, it's Marvel. I mean, they do like 2 or 3 movies a year now, so
yeah, that's true. Well, whatever. Needless to say, we are very excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. No real news other than it's going to be awesome, and we're super excited about it.
Yeah.
Anything else? No. Speaking of Marvel news, Homecoming news. I told you. Woo!
Woo-hoo.
Excitement for the news today. Let's see, where's my news at? I didn't even look it over. Donald Glover. So I have this stuff memorized. Yeah. Donald Glover has been cast in the new upcoming Spider-Man movie, which is a lot of people.
What yet though? That's the catch.
Well, they've not announced any roles in Spider-Man except for obviously Tony Stark.
Yeah.
RDJ is playing Tony Stark, and Tom Holland's playing Spider-Man. But other than that, no one knows what anybody else is playing. Even Batman, Michael Keaton.
Well, didn't they say Jeff Goldblum's going to be in it?
No, Jeff Goldblum's going to be in Thor.
Oh, okay, that's right.
But Michael Keaton is supposedly going to play the villain in the news in Spider-Man. But everyone's assuming it's going to be Vulture. But like I said, Marvel has not announced any cast except for who's in it and not what they're playing. But anyway, a lot of the rumor is that Donald Glover may be, in fact, playing Miles Morales, who is the other Spider-Man right now in Marvel Spider-Man universe. Adding fuel to the speculation is that he has long been lobbying to play this in a movie, and he does the voice of Miles Morales in the cartoon. So he looks the part, he's been the part in the cartoon, and he's been actively lobbying to get that role. So is it possible that we are going to get a second Spider-Man, or at least maybe by the end a second Spider-Man? I think yes.
I think that'd be awesome.
I would too. I think it'd be something. The cool thing is it's something different that we would get in a Spider-Man movie that we have not gotten before.
Yeah, because Spider-Man's gotten very generic and very predictable.
Yeah, so I'd love to see them spice it up a
So,
little bit. Homecoming, you get two Spider-Man, Iron Man, Vulture, and there's another villain. Ooh, yeah, sign me up. Sounds good already.
what do you think about Tony Stark's mentor
I like
role?
it. I bet you he gets 20, 30 minutes of screen time tops, if that.
Hmm.
I think he'll be more of a presence than an actual
Yeah,
big
he'll
time character.
upgrade the suit.
Yeah, he'll show up, upgrade the suit. He'll hit on Aunt May for a while, and that'll be the end of it.
Yes, I do like that Aunt May isn't some old lady.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. I like Marissa Tomei.
yeah, Marissa Tomei's always been a great actress.
And it's not just because she's cute, people. Get your minds out of the gutter. I think she's a fantastic actress.
Hey, we're old.
Yeah, we're old.
We appreciate it.
I can honestly say, though, I never thought I'd be like, oh, Aunt May, hey. How you doing?
Oh, Aunt May.
Never thought that was going to happen, but hey, times have changed. All right, what else we got here? I don't know. Ryan did the news today, so if I look like I'm confused, it's because I didn't actually do the news. Uh,
I put all the shit in order.
the UK.
You went from one to
Yeah,
like number
I'm
eight.
trying to keep the show moving in a feng shui kind of way. We were talking Marvel because truthfully, Guardians of the Galaxy news wraps. That's just not even news. Yeah, it's quit shooting, but it's still not out yet. Way to go, Ryan. This is why I don't let you do the news. So I had to spice it up with some cool Spider-Man news. Because if I go
Wow.
directly to the next thing on the list, so there's our list. Shaming Ryan here. Next
Jason
thing on the
Bourne
list is Jason
trailer.
Bourne is
Okay,
getting another
thanks.
trailer in the UK.
Yeah, and it's actually really cool.
The
Have you
trailer
watched
or the
it?
fact that he's getting a trailer in the UK?
I like the trailer. It was kind of showed like he kind of out for revenge and shit like that. He's gonna be fucking stuff up. So I don't know. I like Jason. I've always been a huge fan of Jason Bourne
Oh, son
series.
of a.
So
So one of our faithful 50 members who lives in California just sent me a video of the new Star Wars freaking fireworks show.
what
What a dick. Maybe I should air this on our...
fireworks show?
Yeah, maybe I should air this on our show.
I'm
There
very
we go. See if
curious.
we can see this. Where's it at? I think that's what this is. Yep, it is. Hear that?
Hmm. I can see it.
Look at that, everybody. Faithful 50 exclusive.
Yeah.
There is the... He literally just sent me that.
Yeah. Where is that at?
Actually, I don't even know what this is. I think it's Disneyland.
Is it
It
Disneyland?
says there's been awakening in the Force. You see that? Can you hear it?
Yeah,
Can you hear it? Yeah,
I can see my face.
yeah, I
in the
know. It's kind of hard and
reflection.
reflective. There you go. I'll send this to you when we're over. Look at that.
Yeah.
How long is it? Oh, it's almost over anyway.
Look at that.
That's pretty awesome. Well, thank you, Trevor. I know you watched the show, so thanks for sending that to me. I bet you didn't know it was going to get on the air. That was a as it happened moment, people.
There's our live streams.
It's our live stream. Anybody who's listening is like, what the hell was that?
That was
I feel like people watching are going to be like, what the hell was that? Because I didn't really have the setting on
yeah.
my phone turned up very well. Oh, well, whatever. You know what? It's been that kind of show, people.
Yeah.
You're lucky you're getting a
It's,
show, okay? We don't get paid to
you
do
know,
this. We do this for
it's
you
Father's
guys.
Day weekend, and all we know is that we're just gonna be drinking a lot of beer on
God, I need to
Sunday.
continue drinking. It's been a stressful week. Massively stressful. All right, so moving on to the news. We got lots of news.
Yes,
Maybe, I don't know.
you need to pick it up the pace.
Shut
I
up.
think.
Superman's been cast for CW's Supergirl, and unfortunately, it's not Brandon Ruth or Tom Welling. Very sad about that. It is Tyler
Hoechlin.
Hoechlin. I was going to say Honakalin.
Hold
so good. Yeah, apparently he played in
he
Teen
has
Wolf.
a good look for a Superman.
Yeah, he looks all right for Superman. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's a bad cast. I was just kind of. I mean, I was more wishful thinking. I knew they were never going to cast Tom Welling,
Yeah.
but I would have loved to see Brandon Ruth just show up and people be like, "Wow, you look a lot like Adam," and everybody's like, "What?" I think I've been funny. That's just me. We're really excited about Superman coming to the CW Arrow universe and potentially what that means for the series going forward. But
Yes. As long
let's
as
see
it's
here.
all Flashpoint.
A little more casting news for some CW shows. Nick Zano has been cast as Dr. Nate Haywood in Legends of Tomorrow.
he's the grandson
Yeah.
of the Commander Steele, who's in the Justice Society of America. That's, if you remember right, at the very end of
Yeah, the season
Legend of
finale of Legends
Tomorrow,
of Tomorrow.
Our Man, he said he's from the Justice Society of America, and they sent him to tell him to not be the Time Masters or whatever the shit. And,
So expect a lot more of Justice Society of America to pop up, obviously in the CW universe, which is pretty cool. If you're a
yeah.
big fan of DC stuff, you know who Justice Society is, and they got some pretty cool members.
Well,
Um,
it's kind of cool they're taking out like a lot of B and C characters. You know,
yeah,
it's well, especially with do we were we going to talk about the new guy on Arrow?
yeah, we can talk about him in just one
I mean,
second.
who
But I
the
was gonna
fuck is
say
this
I wouldn't
guy?
even call necessarily the B and C. I feel like CW is just doing a really good job of fleshing out the entire DC universe, not just
Mhm.
focusing on the big heavies like Flash and Green Lantern and Arrow and Superman. They're also focusing on everybody else. I mean, they've brought in just about everybody except for Batman and Superman.
Well, I think it helps that you have four shows
Yeah.
that are all in the same universe, and you can introduce bits and pieces all over. You can't do that in a movie.
Well, and with Legends of
Okay.
Tomorrow, you have the time travel element now. So, like last season, first season, they were able to introduce Jonah Hex, which was really cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm excited for it. One thing I'm not really excited for though is Arrow announced its new villain for season 5 is going to be the DC
I thought it was gonna
character.
be a vigilante guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's going to be the new villain. Apparently, he's going to start as a good guy and end up as a villain.
Huh.
His name is Wild Dog. He's the vigilante, and he looks like Casey Jones. If you don't know
Yeah,
who he is, do
and
not
he's
feel
got a
bad
dog
because
on his chest.
me and the show good show friend Exefer Reed, who's our giant DC nerds, both had to wiki this character because we're like, what? Who the hell is this
Yeah.
guy? And yeah, at this point, I don't know. I've lost all faith in Arrow. So hey, Arrow, you get 5 episodes next season. 5.
Yeah, we'll
If you
see how
don't
long
reel
it
me
lasts.
in, I have 3 other great shows that I can watch and a shit ton of other shows on other networks that I can watch. So hey,
Yeah.
just so you know. Let's see here. Some more casting news. Stars is putting together a phenomenal cast for American Gods, their new show that's going to air, I think,
Yes.
next year, sometime next year. They just announced that Orlando Jones from Mad TV and Demore Barnes, apparently from 12 Monkeys, has just been added to the cast. Now, that is also, we didn't
Uh,
announce last week that Gillian Anderson from The X-Files had also already been added to the American Gods cast. So it's
yeah.
got quite the cast.
Well, and if you don't know what it is, it's essentially that anyone who gets any kind of belief is essentially created as a god, and in their real life,
Hang on a second.
and
Chuck,
so
go to bed!
there's there's the American gods are
Ask your sister to
essentially the
help you.
gods of
Dad's recording the
technology
show.
and the gods of
Well, then go to bed. I'll be up there when I'm done.
something else. So, but I still gotta read the book. I've been reading around to reading the books, so
Sorry, I do have kids,
so
people. I apologize.
yes. Well, I try to keep talking
What were
through
you
it.
talking about?
So
Hopefully, you were explaining what American Gods is about.
yes,
All right, good job. I feel much more knowledgeable now.
yeah, good job.
Ugh,
Way
whatever.
to dad.
Yeah, a couple more things. Let's see here what we got here. Uh, a bunch of people are going to give their voices to Netflix and DreamWorks' upcoming Guillermo del Toro show,
Movie.
Troll Hunters. I don't know.
Troll Hunters.
Kelsey, I'm trying not to just read my iPad. Anton Eklund and Kelsey Grammer and Ron Perlman are going to be lending their voices to the new upcoming Troll Hunters. I have not seen anything about this, so I'm guessing it's going to be good. That's pretty good voice talent right
Yes.
there.
Well, I mean, Ron Perlman is one of my favorites,
Yeah.
voice actors and
How can you
stuff.
not like
So
Hellboy?
he's gonna be one of the bad guys
Hmm.
on it. So
Cool. Very good.
yes.
Let's see. I think that's about it. That's all you got here. I had a couple other little things. Oh, wait a minute. Orphan Black apparently has been renewed for its 5th and final season. So if you're watching Orphan Black, you're going to get one more season of it. I have not watched that show. People tell me I should watch it,
Yeah.
but
I've seen like an episode. That
I
was
don't
about
really
it.
watch very many BBC shows. I've just never really got into them.
Mhm.
I've heard they're good. I just there's so many shows already that I want to watch that I just haven't. That you know.
Yeah. Uh,
Last little bit, a
like
couple
the
news things I want to mention real quick. We put it on our Facebook page. Shrek 4 is coming. It's being
God,
revived by DreamWorks with the new DreamWorks deal that they just sold. I think to who did they sell to? I don't remember. But
Paramount.
yeah, I know DreamWorks just sold for a bunch of money, and one of the things they're going to do is launch more Shrek movies. So apparently, all the original cast is on board to continue getting paid fat paychecks. And honestly, I don't think Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy's doing
a
much of
lot of
anything
them
right
haven't
now.
been paid a fat paycheck in a while. So
Actually, I lied. Eddie Murphy does have something going on. Apparently, Beverly Hills Cop 4 has been greenlit and is going forward with production.
yeah, but the directors are like two like dudes I've never heard of before.
That is
So
also true, but I don't care. I like that movie. I'm sure it'll be terrible, but hopefully they just make it rated R and they don't try and make it PG-13 because those movies were only partially good because they were rated R.
oh God, they were only good because my dad would let me watch them when my mom wasn't home,
Nice.
and so I was like, because I used to love all that shit.
Well, yeah,
Let's see,
I
the
love
Beverly
them all.
Hills
I even like the
Cop,
third one
Lethal
when he went to the
Weapon.
amusement park. It was a little bit of National Lampoon's Vacation. Had that feel to it a little bit. Anytime you take the movie takes place in an amusement
Mm.
park, I'm in. Let's see here. Predator is going to have a new hero. So anybody who's hoping that Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be the main hero in the new Shane Black Predator movie, you are mistaken. Doesn't mean he's not going to be in it, but apparently the new hero's name is, I'm looking for it because I forgot to write it down. I know it's Quinn something. Hang on, it's pretty cool. God dang it. Let's see where to go.
David
Quinn
Daniel
McKenna.
Quinn.
The new hero's name for Predator is going to be Quinn McKenna, which sounds like a Predator hero name.
Yeah, sounds like he's a buff white dude.
Yeah, probably. Irish. He's Quinn. Somewhere Phil's really excited right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else we got for you guys? Peach Dragon dropped their first full length trailer, which
Oh, I forgot
was
about that.
awesome. Have you watched it yet?
Yeah, it was. I mean,
So good.
I'm s- I'm
Are you
still
adding stuff right now?
partial
Are you
to that
deleting?
the animated live action one from that we grew up with. It's still like one of my like cherished childhood movies, honestly.
Yeah, no,
So
it was.
I'm kind of a little skeptical, but it looks good.
I have to say, of all the
So
live action remakes, this is the one that makes me the most excited, especially seeing that trailer. I'm with you. I love the original, so
mm,
this is a vastly different type of movie than the original because the original was animation and live action, where this is clearly just live action. But it looked really good. If you haven't checked out the trailer, check out the trailer. Let us know what you think. I got to post it on the Facebook page. I just thought it looked magical and it felt like a movie that I grew up watching, and
yeah,
it definitely captured that at least in the trailer. So more on that as we hear about it. I think it comes out later this year, so we'll give you guys a full review if we get a chance to go see it. But that's check it out. Let us know what you think. A couple other things. There had E3 was this week. We won't dive. We've already ran long. We're not going to talk about it too much. But E3 had their annual gaming thing. A couple big things in news that came out of there was that Xbox and I know Xbox. I think PlayStation already announced they're going to release a slim version. Xbox is also releasing an Xbox Slim version. It's a little more powerful. The biggest difference between this one and the last one though is this one is going to have 4K capabilities. So if you have a 4K TV and you want a 4K Xbox, now's your chance to get it. It has the power cord is actually now built in. Your power box is built into the Xbox, so you don't have that big bulky power brick that you have to deal
oh
with.
nice.
So that's pretty cool. Apparently, it's quieter. It definitely is slimmer, and I believe it's only going to come in white right now. There's a variety of colors when it comes to the controllers, but I believe the Xbox itself is going to be white. So if you're excited for that,
Yeah.
it launches. The best part about it is you can get the 2 terabyte for $399, which is
That's
I've,
not bad
I've
at
got a
all.
500 gig Xbox and the thing's full already with like 5 games. So because everything now is downloaded to your system, so it just kills your space. But
Man, I have not. I still have an Xbox 360. I haven't updated
get the Xbox One. Well,
since.
you can get the Xbox One soon for really cheap. What else? There was a new South Park Fractured Butthole trailer that I literally died laughing. It's about 2 minutes, 3 minutes long, and it's basically a 3 minute mini movie of South Park that makes fun of
Yes,
all the comic book industries. It is
yes.
hilarious.
It's gonna be so funny.
And it's not fractured butthole like your rear end. It's fractured butt, B-U-T, hole, W-H-O-L-E.
Hmm.
Brilliant play on words. So check that out. It's pretty funny. Halo Wars 2 actually has a new trailer out that they released at E3. I'm a huge Halo Wars fan, so I'm very excited. A little bit of news too. If you buy the Halo Wars 2 Ultimate Edition, you're also going to get Halo's Wars remastered with it. So you'll have both Halo Wars games for your Xbox One. They also announced a new God of War game for you PlayStation owners out there. Looks pretty cool. They released the first. Wasn't so much a trailer as I think it was like 5 minutes of gameplay footage. So looks like they're pretty far along in that game. But I believe there was a new Mass Effect trailer. So there was a lot of cool trailers out. I posted some of them. If you want to find the rest, just Google E3 and I'm sure you can
Yeah.
pull up the trailers. Like I said, I plan on
There's
doing more
way too much
coverage.
stuff that comes out at E3. So
Yeah, well, I plan on doing more coverage on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Unfortunately, shit happened this weekend, and I wasn't really paying much attention, honestly, to a lot of the news, as you can tell in our preparation this week.
yeah.
And I think that's about it. That's all we got for news for you guys. And I would like to give Ryan a big props. I did not do a lot this week. This week I kind of had other things to deal with, and not just what we were talking about earlier, but just family acting insane. And Ryan really stepped up and did put all the news together for us. So
Uh,
if I didn't have my
I,
normal true smooth transition, God Almighty, my normal awesome transitions is because I really didn't put the news together. So,
it's all right. Do what
but
I
thank you,
can.
Ryan. Thank you for stepping up and
I,
helping
I
this.
have to I have to do my part of the show sometime.
No,
So
man, you do a lot. Ryan does a ton of stuff on this show. Just because he stands there and looks silly all the time does not mean he's not an active part of our show. Thank you, Ryan.
no problem, honey.
All right, so moving on to our last couple segments for you guys. We had some for Father's Day. I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man.
I don't have any
After
good
this
Father's Day
week,
story. I have to go.
it's
I think for Father's Day. What are you doing for Father's Day?
we honestly my oldest got strep throat.
Oh, nice.
So and he's like 102 fever and so we're just like kind of playing it by ear. We were talking about going to like Hershey Park
Oh, nice. That's right.
and
You're in
like,
Pennsylvania. I forgot about
but
that.
and I was
Send
like,
me
I
some
told my
kisses.
wife if I go to the town of Hershey, and it's not like the fucking Willy Wonka factory where you can like eat like street lamps and chocolate
Mm-hmm.
and everything's made out of chocolate and you can just go to crazy. I'm gonna be very disappointed. So that's just my expectation
Well,
of going to
all I
Hershey.
know is I've known people who've gone there, and apparently you can get these giant Hershey kisses. So I really expect you to get me one. I will pay for the packaging and the shipping, but you need to send me
Yes.
one. I will PayPal your ass some money.
I'll look for it.
Get me
So
one.
I
If
just
I
hope
don't, I
it
need
doesn't.
something that's gonna
Oh,
give me diabetes immediately. Yeah.
but I mean that's kind of we might do that or we might. I don't know. The last couple of years, I don't know how you want to spend your Father's Day, but I think like last year I was like I just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
And I was
Well,
just like, I like watch some movies by myself, and
it is funny that the Mother's and Father's Day holidays, like my wife, she just she wanted for her Mother's Day to just spend a day away from the kids. I feel her. That's exactly what I would like to do. It's funny on those
yeah,
holidays you want to spend them away from your children.
you
No,
just
we
want
love
some
our kids.
fucking
Well,
time for yourself.
I think we're gonna end up going to see Finding Dory, which of course I wanted to see a movie for Father's Day, and of course somehow we end up seeing the movie that it looks cute, but I'd like
Yeah,
to see Ninja Turtles or Warcraft. Oh no, somehow we're gonna end up seeing Finding Dory for Father's
hmm
Day. Hooray! I'm gonna drink
and
and go to a
you
barbecue. I
you'll
think my
go,
father-in-law's
yeah, you go
barbecuing.
get barbecue and beer. So
No, it's cool. I am excited. My daughter made me a card in class, and she's really excited to show it to me on Sunday. So I love being a father and to be good. But for me, it's weird because like when I was a kid, my father wasn't really around. Since this show is already depressing and deep, my dad wasn't really around, so Father's Day wasn't really a big holiday for me. So it's kind of weird. Even now,
yeah,
being a father, I still have a hard time with Father's Day being a big because I don't think of Father's Day as me being a father. I think of it as towards your father. And
yeah.
since mine was never really a presence in my life, it's kind of like,
And I like I'd rather get something that my kids made me And then like my wife spent $300 on
Screw that.
you
I asked
know.
for a 90-inch television. What are you talking about?
Oh, you did? I didn't
No.
ask for any. I just
I
said
asked for I asked for that
tell,
new Amazon
tell the kids
portable
to make me
speaker.
something if my wife really wants to get me a present.
Yeah, well, my wife asked me what I wanted. I told her I wanted that new. I got, I have the Alexa, the Amazon speaker system, the house system,
Oh yeah.
and so I asked for. They have a portable one that I can take like camping and stuff now. So I asked for that. We'll see. If I get it, I'll do a review on the show. Everybody, let you know how good it is. Probably pretty
Yes.
awesome. Oh my god. All right. Well, that's
I
our
think that's
wonderful.
about it for Father's Day. I mean,
Yeah, nothing too crazy. If you guys have any cool, awesome stories that trump our normal, not so awesome stories, we'd love to hear them. If you have
yes.
anything cool that you want to brag about, feel free
If
to
your
hit us up
kid
and let
did
us know.
something that made you cry,
Well, Trevor apparently is in Disneyland, so I guess he's having the best Father's Day weekend ever. What a
yeah,
dick.
fuck you, Trevor.
It's all right. Trevor, I may actually post that little clip on Facebook from Trevor.
Yes.
I'll see if I can get his permission. Hopefully, we don't get sued from Disney, cease and desist.
We'll
Like
see.
AMC. Oh, hey, last bit of little news, everybody. AMC sent some fans a blog, a cease and desist about naming any of their theories because apparently they get a lot of scoops from The Walking Dead, and they said that if they release because they said that they know who Negan kills, and they said if they release any of it, they're gonna sue him. I was like,
Oh, gee. That's
and
pretty
also to
hardcore.
make sure that nobody knows who Negan kills in The Walking Dead, apparently they filmed 11 death scenes. So all 11 cast members who are in that scene all got their own death scene
No.
filmed. Yes. And they said
That
in the
sounds
editing
like
room they
something
are
they
going to
have.
decide who it is.
That's like sounds like something that they have to put like in the extras
Yes.
for the whatever season it's
I
gonna be.
really am going to laugh when they accidentally put the wrong clip on TV and they're like, oh shit, we killed
Oh
Rick. What are we going
fuck!
to do now?
Oh shit! We're supposed to kill Carl.
Oh my god, Negan killed himself. This is really going to ruin the season.
Whacking
He
himself.
knocks himself out. They put like the blooper reel. They bust into like song and dance, and everyone's just really confused. Like, what just happened? All right. I want to talk a little bit about Game of Thrones, but we have completely ran out of time, and we got a few questions. So, me and Ryan are going to try and do a Game of Thrones wrap up over the next couple weeks. There's the Battle of the Bastards, which is this week, which is going to be an amazing episode. And maybe next week we could do final predictions. I want to talk about what we thought was going to happen going forward. We'll see what happens at the Battle of the Bastards, but maybe the last episode. Maybe next week we'll do just kind of some predictions for the final
There's
episode and then going forward
there's still one thing that hasn't happened
from the books.
that I know is going to happen, and I know exactly how they're going to do it on the show.
Oh man, I'm really excited.
So it's going to happen in the last episode. I'm betting.
Charlie,
So
go to sleep. Bedtime.
go to
Well,
bed.
then go watch the
Damn it.
movie.
Go away,
Go to sleep. I got this
Uncle.
weird little troll that lives
Uncle.
upstairs named Charlie. She never goes to bed.
Do not make Uncle Ryan
God.
come through the screen.
Daddy's recording a show. Go lay down. I'll be done in 10 minutes.
We're doing important stuff.
Don't play in the toilet. So anyway, we'll try and talk a little more. We'll try and dedicate more time next week. We'll have actually, we'll do a big Game of Thrones. We'll do a segment on Game of Thrones next week. We won't do any reviews or anything. We'll do a Game of Thrones segment. So make sure you guys have your heavy Game of Thrones. We'll do have all your Game of Thrones questions ready for us. We'll do a heavy
Yeah.
from the Faithful 50 Game of Thrones next week. So, moving on. From
From
the
the
Faithful
Faithful
50. You have
50?
any questions, Ryan?
Yes, we have from the Faithful 50. I have a couple good ones. Um, are you ready for this,
I'm
Brian?
ready, man. Fire away, dude. I'm finally getting my groove, and the
All right.
show's almost over.
All right. So, Jeff from Washington, Jeff, who's been overtaking Phil, I believe, as the
Yeah.
new commander in chief of the Faithful 50 Army. Um, his question is, technology in modern filmmaking has been improved by leaps and bounds. Green screens opened up so many more options for special effects. I, however, am starting to see too much green screen to the point that most movies look fake or cartoonish unless it's done right. I haven't seen X-Men Apocalypse, but
Don't
some
watch it.
particular fake. Yeah, don't watch it. Studios almost prefer green screen rather than on location filming. in your opinion, is green screens improving movies or ruining them these days? And to answer I am totally a practical effects guy. Like you you couldn't do Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade with a green screen these days. And
No,
you know
but
how
I
many,
also think that I think green screen, like anything, is a tool that is to be, under the wielded expertly. It's great. Like the Force Awakens, there was a lot of green screen in that movie. You just didn't know it because they did a great blend of practical and green screen type stuff. If you're talking
uh,
Jeff, like this new Warcraft movie, I haven't seen it. I have heard that a lot of obviously there's orcs and a lot of it had to be filmed green screen. The prequels, the Star Wars prequels, were notoriously all shot on green screen, and they definitely suffered from it. But you have movies like Avatar, who I'm pretty sure were almost entirely filmed in front of a green screen, and you wouldn't
uh,
really know it. So, um, I think if a movie wants to be a spectacle in some aspects, like a fantasy type spectacle, you don't have a lot of options but to shoot a lot in front of a green screen. But I think you can do it in a way that doesn't look fake or look bad. I think it's a great tool to use, and I think it adds to the depth of a movie. Civil War, I'm sure there's some scenes that are very much CGI'd in front of a green screen, but you
yes.
couldn't tell because it looks great. So, um,
And I think you're right. If it's done in the right way, it can look good. But I mean, there's some movies that they're trying way too hard,
well,
and
and like
it just
Age of Apocalypse is, or X Men Apocalypse, it is an example. There
uh
are some parts when it's so bad in front of a green screen that it's just Bryan Singer doesn't know how to film in front of green screen. That's clearly obvious. So I think people who Zack Schneider, most of his movies are filmed in front of it. Maybe you don't like his visual style, but I particularly do like his visual style, and I
uh,
think it looks great. So I think in the hands
Christopher
of a
Nolan is always been good at blending. But he's more of like he'll take um, a location and just kind of like spruce it up to how he wants it, and then
yeah.
he'll just kind of add in some stuff. And I really love the stuff that he's done on
Yeah.
his movies. So
Personally, I think the best way to do it is blend it. I don't think you should do everything in front of a green screen. Very few
mhm.
people are James Cameron inept where they can do it the way he did with Avatar. But most people end up just overusing it and it looks awful. If you know
Yeah,
how, if a good director in the hands of a good director, Guardians of the Galaxy, pretty sure most of that movie was filmed in front of a green screen. So,
mm,
I do think done right, it's great. Done poorly, it's bad. But I think ultimately you're never going to beat real. So I think a blend of green screen and
yes,
real is probably the best. I don't think green screen's ruining Hollywood. I think bad directors are ruining Hollywood.
yeah, and I mean they're as they try and find more and more ways to cut costs. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously they're going to start doing what they have to do. So.
yeah,
I'm with Brian. I'm for practical effects, but if you got to do it, blend it. I mean, at least.
yep,
So
definitely.
thank you,
All
Jeff.
right,
And
next
see, we
question.
got my other questions from Eric Grillo,
Mm-hmm.
and his question is, "What are your feelings about Kevin Smith possibly directing Daredevil on Netflix?"
Um,
And I think that is a good thing because from the episodes that he directed on
Flash.
Flash, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, he Flash episode. God, I can't remember. It was a
It
good
was like
episode
the
though.
something dinosaur. I forget what it was. The good dinosaur,
Yeah,
or the speedy
yeah,
dinosaur, or something. Yeah,
yeah. God, I was fucking sad at the end
dude,
where
that
he
was a
like
great
him
episode.
and his mom are reading it and
I like Kevin Smith a lot as a director. I think he's a really talented
yes. I
filmmaker.
don't I don't like his writing, honestly.
Some
I
people
think he's a
don't.
better director than his writing is. So
I've liked almost every movie he's made. Cop Out kind of being the exception, wasn't that great. I haven't seen Tusk, so I'm not going to say I haven't seen his weird ones lately. But no, his Flash episode was really good. I know Daredevil was a big is one of his favorite characters. That he actually wrote comic books on Daredevil, so I think he would be respectful to the source material. And I actually do listen to a lot of his podcasts where he basically says his goal isn't to make a Kevin Smith Daredevil. His goal is to not fuck it up and make the best episode of Daredevil that he can. So I think if he went on
mhm.
and made a couple episodes of Daredevil, most series don't have one director. I doubt he would direct the entire third season of Daredevil. It'd be like one or two, maybe even if they gave him a small story arc that he could do. But I think it'd be great. I think he'd do really good. I know he likes the TV stuff so much now that I know they're doing a 10 episode season of Mallrats is coming out here soon for Mallrats Part 2 is going to be done in TV form, so that's all going to be directed by Kevin Smith, and it's going to be on television. So
Uh,
it sounds like he's really kind of got bit by the TV bug, and he's really excited. I think he's also doing a Buckaroo Banzai.
yeah, Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, he's doing that as a TV show as well. So it sounds like he really is into this television thing, and judging from his one episode of Flash, I think he can do a good job. So I would
Yeah,
be
it's
excited personally.
as long as he sticks to what he knows, then
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. So
Well,
I'm looking forward to seeing his episode.
yeah,
So
I think he's a good director. You know, it's say what you want to about his writing. I don't mind it
yeah,
as
he
much,
he
but
can definitely be hit or miss.
and then we had a couple questions from Brian from Washington. Good old Brian's back. I know he's been he hit me up and said that he hasn't been avoiding us. He's just been moving, so I guess
Mhm.
he's got internet again, so he's back. He
I
wants to
feel your
know for
pain.
Father's Day, what do we prefer? Spend time with the family, doing stuff, or just doing stuff on our own? I know we touched base on this a minute ago.
Yeah, I think we're both in maybe like a little bit of both.
I think you
I'm
like to
I'm
think
fine
you would
for
rather
like going
spend
to
it by
see a
yourself,
movie.
but at the end of the day, you do want to just be with your family.
We'll just go do something, but
Just give me a couple hours to go play
after
Xbox.
yeah, I just feel like after dinner, you putting the kids to bed, and
Hey, Father's
you
Day
know,
this year, we got the best gift, Ryan. Battle of the Bastards.
hmm I'm looking forward to that.
Super stoked. And then Brian also wanted to know what summer movie are we most looking forward to. I'm gonna say what's left. I'm gonna say Suicide Squad.
I will say Suicide Squad and Independence Day Resurgence.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. That comes out next week, right?
Yeah, next week.
Yes, I'm gonna go see that when
You
I get
should have
back from
got an
vacation.
email.
What?
Didn't you get an email for the press
Yeah, but
screen?
it's I think I'm on vacation when it comes out, so I couldn't go to the screener. Yeah, it comes out that Friday I get back, I think, or it leaves the Friday. I just know I couldn't. I saw the timing and I couldn't make it, so I was like, "Ugh." So
Yeah.
yeah, so it'll be no Geek Dad real review, but I'm sure me and Ryan will talk about it because I do plan on
Yes.
seeing it like within the first week or two.
Oh yeah. I still get chills from the fucking first movie.
Yeah, that's a
So.
great movie. I think they've been airing it on TV. Why not? It'd be a good time to.
Oh yeah. They will. There's a comic book too. So
Oh really? I didn't read the comic book yet.
yeah, it's
Check
on
that out.
from Titan Publishing.
All right.
So
Well, I think that's all we got for you guys. We already ran a little bit
yes.
long, and this episode, honestly, I'm not gonna say it's been a train wreck, but it's been kind of a didn't have our normal energy tonight. So
Yeah.
we're gonna say thanks for watching. And do you have a weekly recommendation that you want to say?
I've been playing a game on my phone. It's called Nonstop Night, and it's basically you get a knight, and he does all the fighting for
Mm-hmm.
you. He gets armor, a sword, and a cloak, and he's just constantly fighting. So like
Nice.
while I've been playing, he's been fighting for me.
Oh, that's cool.
You upgrade your sword and your armor, so and you just
Oh,
constantly just
cool.
doing it all for you.
That's
So
pretty cool.
you just come back in and be like, I'll do some of my specials and
But if you don't, he'll just do it and collect everything. That's cool. That's like the super
yeah,
lazy man's RPG.
yeah, it's
I like it.
fucking, it's just a great way to kill 5 minutes. So I've been playing the shit out of it for the last week since it released. So
Nice.
Nonstop Night, it's on every platform, iOS, Android,
Cool.
everything.
All right.
It's a fun little fucking around
Sweet.
game. So
Check it out. My recommendation this week is the HBO series The Leftovers. I decided to start watching it, and it's really good. I'm almost through season one, and I've actually really enjoyed it. Season three, I believe, airs this October, so if it's the third and final season, so if you want to get all caught up before it comes out, you can. I got a couple other shows that I've been watching that I'm going to give some reviews on here going forward, but right now I'm going to say The Leftovers because I think it's a great show, and everybody should watch it. It's a lot of fun.
sweet.
HBO, both seasons.
Good job, HBO.
Yeah, good job. You guys do a lot of good content. On that note, I think that's all we got this week.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, everybody, like I said, thank you for joining us. Sorry this week was kind of on a down note to start out, but real world affects
What you
everybody,
get?
and occasionally, sometimes we have an unprepared show where we just talk about shit.
Well, sometimes we come into a show with a heavy heart.
You know
So
what? That's a much more elegant way of putting it.
uh, that's what I'm here for, Brad.
Well, I
So
was trying to find music or outro music, and I really wasn't paying
yeah,
attention to what I was saying. If I
That's all
ever say
right.
weird random things, sometimes it's because I did it on purpose, but a lot of times it's because I'm distracted and I don't even know even I don't know what I'm saying
Yeah.
from time to time.
You got kids coming down the stairs.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us, and next week we promise to come with the motherfucking enthusiasm. Whoop
Yes.
whoop. Mariners won. Yeah,
Yeah.
holla. All right. Well, unless you got anything else, Ryan. On that note,
Oh,
see you next week,
I drank a
everybody.
beer. I drank a beer tonight called Raging Bitch.
No one heard that.
I remember coming up, not even a buck, ain't even a cent to make enough. We was out there chasing after stuff that you only find in your dreams of the nights when you're looking up. And I remember